Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're in the other position right now.
Oh, that's right. I wish we could get this on video. Tomorrow we're going to be.
Not for my son. Not for my son.
Be
Just for me.
consistent. Yeah.
Brownies.
That's right. She almost brought some brownies. That's funny. Y'all, welcome back to another debate brought to you by my level 8 class. That's right. What?
Now your head is cut.
My head is up.
Just take back the
Yeah, just
That's all it is.
yeah. That's
Now that's
not
good.
better.
Yeah. So that means anybody up here is going to be. That looks okay.
no, that's
Thank
correct.
you.
Yeah.
So y'all, the topic we're going to be debating is marijuana should be legalized, presumably in Texas, maybe in the United States, for any purpose that wasn't specified. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what y'all are arguing for and against, any purpose medicinal or not, whatever. Okay. Anyway, marijuana should be legalized. This side, this team is going to be arguing yes, agree. This side is going to say no. All right. Anyway, okay. 7 minutes to make your opening arguments, and let's go ahead and give him some comments. All right. Easy opening. They love you, huh? All right. You.
Yeah, also,
You bring some samples?
Be very persuasive, wouldn't it? That'd be.
then way back.
Okay. Pipe or roller?
The real
It's
Oh,
a regular
no
one.
worries, it's okay.
Here, tell you what. Let me move this real quick, and then I'll start. So I don't want to mess up the sound. Okay. When you go, sir, I'll go. All right.
Okay, so we're in the team agree about that marijuana should be legalized, and my group is composed by John, me, Oscar, and Fernanda that is not
No problem.
So we agree that marijuana should be legalized because many studies have revealed that marijuana marijuana helps with epilepsy, marijuana helps with cancer, and marijuana helps with PTSD. Yeah, marijuana has many benefits in our body, like make the live, improve the sleep, reduce nausea and vomiting, and remove appetite. Like I've seen many people that want this smoke marijuana, they have like a weak appetite. They want to appetite. They have a weak appetite. And marijuana improves the quality of life. I mean, I think marijuana should not be illegal. There are many states in the United States where marijuana is legal. Have you ever think about why is it legal somewhere and it's not legal anywhere? I mean, it's the same people, like it's the same country, but it's legal somewhere and it's illegal somewhere in other places. One of the main problem of why marijuana is illegal is because it's bad for the drink industry. Places where marijuana is legal, people buy less alcohol than places where marijuana is illegal. It's bad for the drink industry. People used to change alcohol with marijuana. So it's bad for the industry. It's one of the purpose why they are trying to make it illegal. And I think marijuana is not that bad because first of all, it's natural. It's not very processed as many. Let's say as alcohol. Once I was like weeks ago watching the video of New York, and he was saying that if in a room, for example, you put everybody and give them marijuana, they're going to smoke and they're going to be like this. They're going to be like in peace between them. But if in a room you put everybody and give them alcohol and give them in like 5 or 10 minutes, you hear that no, they're only fighting. Why is alcohol legal? alcohol is a drug too. Where is it legal and marijuana is not legal? Marijuana is more natural and I think it has more benefit than alcohol. But alcohol is legal and marijuana is not legal. Why? I think anybody here, I don't know, is know someone that's not weed or marijuana. Who knows somebody that's not marijuana?
I smoked from 13 since I was 13 years old till 45. Now I am over 50 and I stopped at no, it's not the reason. I stopped because it's.
Have you ever done something like you say, wow, why did I do that? Why it was not? I mean, one.
No. Also, I'm agree with you. Also, after that, also the marijuana was more. Also, when began to commercialize it, also they began to manipulate it genetically, and that is really weird. That's why I stopped it.
I mean, marijuana is his natural essence. It's not that bad as people are trying to say it's bad. It's not. I mean, I don't smoke. I know how many friends that smoke. No, that's not. I know many people that smoke that. All of them are scared. I come down. They know that. They are not that disturbing or that jealous people. They are not very disturbing.
Nice.
We'll pause it. You want to say anything? You got 2 minutes here left. Is that all right? Yeah. Can you save it for later? Okay, you want to save it for later? Okay, that's all right. You have your case for us at the moment? Cool. Yeah, man, it's hard getting up for Yeah. We're about those comment on what I did like. Of course, no, I like it as we're working it out. Kind of coming.
Two guys from the country where is the best guys in the world.
Yeah, that's an interesting tactic as far as engaging with the audience. Has anybody here ever smoked marijuana? And then you're running the risk, like, have you done anything you regret? Please, no. And it turns out my case is made. He could have done something he regretted, but you risked. Or maybe you guys are working together or something.
We spoke before.
He will receive a payment. He will receive a check after that.
Something.
He will receive a check.
That's false.
No conspiracy.
I never spoke about this mother in this country before this moment. Now it's my first time that I public. I accepted that I smoke marijuana for some years.
Coming up to the podium, 7 minutes. Team disagree. Let's give them some confidence. It's hard to get in front of people. I mean, with your hands together. Do you want to start with the video first? Would you want to do that first? You want to do that first?
Did you smoke?
So first of all, I want to show you a video, and then I'm going to explain you what it has been happened in places where marijuana is legalized right now.
You know what? In the interest of fairness, I will go. There we go. I'll play it here, and you guys will watch it. You may have to move the podium out of the way. Don't mind, and move this podium out of the way a little bit. Okay, here we go. Just to make your point. Yeah.
This car's been stopped for quite some time. We're gonna check it out. Excuse me. You haven't spoken any pot today.
What?
Well, we've been stopped here for 15 minutes. Can you tell me why that is?
We're waiting for the stop sign to turn green.
How high are you?
Harry?
No, I said, how high are you?
Hi.
Very high.
So friendly.
For the
Okay,
way.
I am going to have to conduct a pot sobriety test.
Oh man, I'm too high for that.
You know what it is?
Is that a breathalyzer?
No. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a few questions to determine your ability to drive. Why circle, and all the little slices are tiny triangles. Which of these two snacks would you prefer? Chips or the cookie dough? Step out of the car, please. Let's go.
Please, don't drive by. We're getting cookie dough all over the back of our cruisers. A message from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
All right, nice.
Okay, that's so fun, but we have to put it in a real context. So, there is a page where you can research what happened in the places that legalize marijuana and in every context. The page is PMC, and you can research what happened in those places. So the first one, I'm going to talk about numbers because numbers are numbers. So you can see what happened in those places. First of all is traffic fatalities and impaired driving. So since recreational marijuana was legalized, the traffic deaths in which driver tests positive increased 109%, and the traffic deaths increased 31%. Since recreational marijuana was legalized, traffic deaths involving drivers who test positive for more than double from 55 in 2013 to 115 people killed in 2018. So this equates to one person killed every three days in 2018 compared to one person killed every 6.5 days. So since marijuana was legalized, the percentage the traffic deaths were related increased from 15% in 2013 to 23% in 2018. So there is a real number, so we have a real problem because the traffic fatalities increased significantly.
Significantly?
Significantly?
You got it right.
Significantly, since the marijuana was legalized in some places. So the second one is the marijuana use. So since recreational marijuana was legalized, the use for age 12 and older increased 58% and 78% higher than average. So could you imagine your teenager son consuming marijuana because it's legalized in some places? That's the problem. Adult marijuana use increased 94% and is 96% higher than the average. So college art marijuana use increased 18% and is 48% higher than the average. And young marijuana use increased 14% and is 40% higher than the average. And how about the public health? So Oscar was talking about the benefits in health, but there is a big problem in health for the consumption of the marijuana in places that is legalized. So, the yearly number of emergency department visits related to marijuana increased 54% after legalization of recreational marijuana. The yearly number of marijuana-related hospitalizations increased 101% after the legalization of marijuana. And marijuana only exposes more than percent of suicide,
That's correct.
incidents in which toxicology results were positive for marijuana has increased 101% in 2013 to 23% in 2017. So that's a big problem. And one of the goals to legalize marijuana is, in political perspective, is to reduce the black market. But however, the black market is still a problem in places that legalize marijuana. So, for example, Colorado Drug Task Force 10 conduct 257 investigation of black market marijuana Colorado. So it's 192 felony arrests, is 6.08 tons of marijuana seized, 60,000 old marijuana plant seizes, and 25 different states the marijuana was destinated. So this is the numbers. So I think, and indeed, it's a big problem legalize marijuana when you can research these kind of pages that show what the real problem to legalize marijuana.
Indeed it is. You got it. You did it. Look at that. Right into 7 minutes. I was just very impressed. All right, cool. Opening remarks, cool. Very strong anecdotal evidence. Very strong. Very meta evidence. Data. That's very. Yeah. Sometimes the numbers are. Yeah, it sounds pretty shocking. Quadruple was that word, right? Times four.
Quadruple.
Yeah, quadruple. Really sharp. Okay. At this point, each team will have a chance to address, and I actually already heard. I noticed you started to address some of the things Oscar said. Unlikely, Oscar, good for you. I remember. Yeah, and he'll have a chance. This team over here will have a chance to address what they said. And while you're listening, consider which team is making the best case. Not which one you necessarily agree with, yeah, but which one is making the best case. Okay. All right, let's give him a hand, everybody. Yay! You want to do it? Okay, good. I believe in you.
What about Korea?
Yes, that's great. Bring it. Let's hear it.
Bring it to the table.
All right. Or not. Whatever.
Even if there's room to harm one's health, it's argued that considering it as a crime violate the straight right to self-determination, and it also weed is pretty healthy life. For example, Ariana helps in asthma and glaucoma, tumor, epilepsy, lung cancer, sputum, and has a considerable effect.
Yeah.
And also, marijuana overdose that has never been confirmed in history. So it's pretty healthier than alcohol and cigarette and nicotine.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Oh, okay. All right. Never overdose.
I was following the presentation of my beautiful classmate, and she talked about the consumer of underage of marijuana from now underage guys. I want to ask you, how many of you is addicted to coffee? How many of you is
Can we
addicted to?
say coffee?
Need coffee every day.
No, I'm just.
Calm down.
How many of you is addicted to soda? Sugar? Nobody?
Everybody.
How many
Yeah,
did you
everybody
Nobody.
coffee and
How
sugar.
many did you celebrate for fast food?
Everybody coffee, sugar, and fast food. You see here. Any addiction, Yeah.
Any abuse of consumption of any product is bad for the health. All of us we know that. So I mean, where she said that places where marijuana is legal, underage people are more like tempted to consume marijuana. Yes, that's true. But I mean, all of us we know people that are underage and consuming marijuana in places where it's not legal. What do you feel more tempted to do something when it's legal or when it's not illegal? I mean, people are more tempted to do things where it's restricted, when it's where it's a fault to do it. So people feel more tempted to do it. If like for example we make coffee illegal, you see people will buy more coffee. You buy more coffee than right now. If in the leadership mode, you see those people, they're not making any trouble. If you don't go to the car, you won't know they're high. They're in the car chilling. I think they're seeing stars, I don't know what they're seeing, but they're there chilling. They're not making nothing bad. I don't mean everybody out there is like that, but most of the people when everybody smoke that, most of them only want to stay somewhere, relax, and not make no problem. No problem, sorry. Most of the people. And as I said, the right, yesterday Mr. Gio talked about the right to choose. People are not forced to smoke marijuana. And it's not the same in everybody. Each person is a single word. It's a whole word. So it's not going to work the same in everybody's anatomy. I think people should be able to decide if they want it or if they don't want it with prescription. As my example said, it has many good effects in PTSD, post-traumatic effects, and cancer. We can use it for that. Alcohol, I was saying, alcohol has worse effects than marijuana. Alcohol is legal. Why? You should think about that.
Okay, give me a hand, everybody. Yeah, thank you. All right, now let's keep it 5 minutes to do a rebuttal. Okay, cool. And are we like to just use it? Yeah, are you do it?
Oh no, are we gonna respond back?
No, you'll have 5 minutes to make, after the whole thing is over, y'all can talk back and forth and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use this 5 minutes now to, continue your point or what have you, whenever you like. Okay, here we go.
What about Peru?
Yes.
Ashwagandha.
What about Peru, right?
Well, actually, we used to be the ones who cooked it. Yeah, well, that's a different story.
And make cakes.
No, talking about like cocaine. It's a different thing. So let's put something very important, and it's the medical perspective. And like many people want to talk about the positive effects of cannabis and THC and all of this, but like nobody wants to. However, nobody wants to talk about like the negative effects, and we do actually. So it is important to say that now it is true that cannabis can be a powerful tool for some adults in very occasional use, provided it is delivered safety and in the safe context and setting in a legal way. However, can we determine that it's good for the developing brain and body? Remember that I'm not trying to demonize like people who actually consume or used to consume the cannabis. But according to Dr. Andrew Huberman, who is actually a well-known doctor from, he is actually a neurobiologist and ophthalmologist at Stanford University, and also a host in a Hauerman podcast. He actually mentioned that it is completely different for the brain for an individual of 25 years old and who use cannabis like very frequently than an average of teenager 14, 25 years old. I mean the brain and also the brain continue developing at that point. So I would say that this like either if you're using for smoking or for vaping, it will continue to affect something in your brain, and the side effects will be like probably schizophrenia or like bipolar disorders or psychosis, and for a person who usually use it, will dramatically disrupt your like your mood and also like the way how you are with people. So it is absolutely clear that the brain continues to develop at least until the age of 25, and that a massive amount of system related to mood regulation, or better say, the ability to organize one's thoughts. So in other words, I would say like the way how you organize your life, the way how you organize or you set up your thoughts, so in that way you can say stuff, it will like be disrupted by the cannabis and THC. So that's mainly like the in a medical perspective and according to the Dr. Andrew Hauer. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I need to already talk about some key points in our argument against the legalization of marijuana. I'm going to concentrate a little bit also in the health concerns. We just saw that video, and it's a funny video, of course, but we all know that that could happen in real life, right? Because being under the effects of marijuana can damage can change the way you perceive the world. So driving under the effects of marijuana can cause many accidents. So Oscar said, it's natural, okay, it's natural, but the marijuana we know today is not the same as the marijuana we had 20 years ago or 10 years ago, because it's been modified genetically to produce stronger species of marijuana. And they can be so strong that can be even have the worst effect as alcohol have, or some stronger drugs like psychedelics or something like that. So saying that alcohol is worse than marijuana, well, I don't know, because there are some kinds of marijuana that are really strong and can damage the brain. And this is more important in the development of, as Andrew said, of the brain of the young people, because these people start to consume marijuana on 13, 14 years old until they're late teens or early 20s. Their brains are going to be damaged, and probably irreversible damage. So that can lead to, as my teammates say, to suicide, to paranoia, hallucination. It can lead even to schizophrenic problem. So we need to point that and be very careful.
All right. Yes. Give me a hand. Unanimous guys, standing in applause for your enemy.
Solid.
So y'all want to recognize that a lot of thorough research brought in here. And I want to imagine, wouldn't you guys imagine that some folks up here probably feel differently? And I don't know, maybe some folks over here feel differently than they're actually expressing. So it's hard to do that. Just recognize that speaking about something and making opposite arguments is tough. It's tough. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, I know the podcast you mentioned. Huberman? Yes. Yeah, that was great. I'm going to look into more episodes of that. A lot of data you're bringing in. A lot of appeals to the audience. Hey, okay, good chat. This last moment here, we're just going to let each team use 2 minutes. Looks like you're looking at me. Looks like you're coming up here to make summary statements, or you can continue using your 2 minutes however you like. Okay? Let's do it. And let's take 2 minutes, and then we'll open it up for questions. All right. Yay. All right. You. Yeah. Good. All right.
today, to close with the, from our part, to close our debate. Can someone, anyone, can someone tell me when did you start drinking alcohol? Anyone?
Yes.
Both of you, I'm sure, they should drink alcohol being on the rage. And they drink alcohol, I think more often than people smoke weed. As alcohol is legal. And I mean, the people drinking whiskey, vodka, who is,
I mean,
yeah, sorry.
Wrong.
No problem. I think whiskey or vodka has a high grade of alcohol, a high percent of alcohol.
Concentration.
A high concentration of alcohol. And people drinking more often than is normal. And people is not, how many times have you heard about people with alcoholic things? You don't hear about that. It's a problem too. That is legal. As I say, I think it's not alcohol. I know you do. And it's good. No problem. And it's legal too. You can do it.
Yeah, but more.
Yeah. And you're telling me about being underage. For sure. I think it depends on everyone's body anatomy composition. Each one of us know what is good for him, what is good for him or her. And I think people should stop when they know they can't control it anymore. I know cannabis is addictive, sugar is addictive too, coffee, meat, fast food, almost everything we use is addictive. But we should stop when you know we can't no more. Ask for help.
Okay, time's up. All right, good. Yeah, everybody, yay, thank you very much. However you guys want to use it. All right, Juliana's coming back up.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's just point.
Okay, I have a question. Oscar said there are studies that show alcohol consumption is lower when marijuana has been legalized. Can I see that study? Because I didn't find kind of the study that shows something like that. Because right now we have a big problem with the accident, the car accident in the street because of the consumption of the alcohol. So how can governments control the marijuana effects when the people is driving? If they can control that people driving about the effects of the alcohol, that's paradoxical. So this is one thing. The second one, you said people are tempted to consume a lot of kind of things that are illegal, but the research, the studies show a really big increase in the consumption and the big problems when the marijuana is legal, has been legalized. So since that, there is an increase that you can see when the marijuana has been legalized. So that's paradoxical too. So in another hand, so I can repeat again. So we cannot control alcohol consumption. How can governments control marijuana consumption? So and the consumption.
You're saying.
So
Just you're out of time.
and the last part is that's it.
Say.
So
Go ahead, finish it
I
out.
want to say,
I'll let you finish it.
how about for example obesity? Sugar is considered a kind of drug. Yeah, and there is studies about that. People can control sugar, and there are a big problems about the obesity in some countries, and there is is a big problem about the consumption of alcohol. So we pretend to solve one more big problem when we try to legalize marijuana. So it's like one problem to another problem for a nation, and we need to control those kind of things to prosper as a nation.
Fair enough. Thank you. Appreciate you. Another ode to both teams. Preparation, well organized, and good tactics. Both teams are trying to engage with the audience. That's very useful and drawn upon anecdotal evidence. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. Someone want to make a comment or a question to either side? You want to do this? Or you're looking at me. You want to say no?
Yeah, I could tell something from about the own experience and what I saw in my life.
Great.
My country, Chile, also the consumption of marijuana began in the 60s in the hippies time. It was, of course, was natural because it was a normal plant, also without any chemicals or any genetic manipulation, and was natural. And then, many people consume always young people and so on, like all over the world here in this Woodstock time and so on. That perhaps you remember that.
I wasn't born yet.
From peace and love and make a love. Don't make the.
I was born in 1973, so no, I was not even born yet. But anyway.
But that's. I think that we have to separate some things because one thing is also the which kind of drugs are you consuming, where are produced or how they are produced, and the other thing is the political situation or the economical situation or how is the society. Also, why the consumption rises in many countries, because there are society problems. There are a lot of stress. There are a lot of economical problems. There are a lot of things that people use that kind of stuff to forget the problems or to escape of problems. That is a lot of things. And even though in the schools too, so that there are a rising consumption when the kids or the children, they have problems at home with their families.
Okay, cool.
The other thing is that from the 5 or 10 years ago began this manipulation, genetic manipulation, and that is a weird thing. That is a really bad thing because, as they say, is a very strong stuff, and they are very damaged, also the brain and the body.
A little more dangerous. Yeah, they addressed that actually, but marijuana of the past is not like it is today. Right.
And the other side of the coin, Holland, country, they legalized it many years ago.
Yeah.
Also, not just only marijuana, many other stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was there many times, and you came to a shop there or a restaurant that you get only marijuana and then other stuff too.
Sounds good.
And that was really strong things too, but natural.
All right.
But everybody have the choice to do it, and then it's not happens. Everybody is killing people on the street. Or
I gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Did either one of you guys want to address that or look at? Yeah, go ahead, John. What's on your mind?
About something that Oscar said is that people tend to do things that are prohibited, right?
Mm-hmm. Good.
It's not the case, maybe. Alcohol is available everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and marijuana is prohibited. Marijuana could be also everywhere, but I think that if they legalize it, it will open a door for the young people to see the marijuana as something normal, as something common.
Yes,
So
that's a good point.
It would be at the reach of their hands. So, for example, they go to a party, and when we are young, we want to experiment new things and to live life, and they would have the marijuana, and they would choose the strongest one. The more dangerous one. So it's important because if we legalize marijuana, there it is going to be available in an easy way for the young. And as I said, in this age, from your early teens to your early 20s, is a very difficult age where your body is still developing.
Yeah,
So it will represent a risk for your body, for your brain, and for your mind.
Cool. It's a critical age for, yeah, you're still developing. Okay, fair enough. Anybody want to weigh in on that one? Yeah? No? No? That's okay. All right, sounds fine. All right, anybody else want to make a comment or a question about things? Yeah? I mean, someone asked if you brought samples for us to. No, he didn't. Just kidding. Okay, y'all, we got another debate to do. Let's give him a hand. Nice work. Yeah. I'm just curious. Were you guys on the side that you personally believe? No, not of you.